Greetings and welcome back to the QuantumUnity of CARALOT channel. My name is James T. Griffin. In this video, we're going to be exploring portals 16, 17, and 18 of the 30 portals of spiritual sovereignty. And before we do that, we're going to cover the previous 3 portals from the previous video. So portal 13, as sovereign spirits, we perceive the concepts and labels of illness and disease as obsolete, outdated perceptions, as they have failed to recognize the proven connection we have with the intelligence of the physical being. Portal 14, as sovereign spirits, you perceive all malfunctions of the physical being as temporary bioenergy blockages, which can be released through raising vibration, upgrading perception, releasing trapped emotional energy, enhancing lifestyle, nutrition, and movement, as well as utilizing natural practices, natural remedies, and safe technologies. And that's the longest worded portal out of the 30 portals, by the way. And then we have portal 15. As sovereign spirits, we have 2 levels of perception, internal perception and external perception. And remember, perception is portal 1 of the proactive wellness system. So the proactive wellness system does tie into basically the 30 portals of spiritual sovereignty. So learn far more about how deep the rabbit hole of perception is in the proactive wellness system, outlined in my first book, Get Your Black Belt in Proactive Wellness First Degree. So let's move on to portal 16, because we're covering portal 16, 17, and 18 in this video. So portal 16, as sovereign spirits, we work consciously and proactively with our emotional energy. So notice we didn't use the word emotion, because emotion or emotions belongs in the old system. So many, when they use the word emotions, they're just talking about what they're feeling on the inside. Let it be in their chest, or let it be in their stomach, or somewhere in between. So emotional energy, when we use that term, and by the way, emotional energy, there's a dash in between emotional and energy, because it's not 2 separate words, it's a new term. It is a spiritual sovereignty and proactive wellness term. So emotional energy implies what we feel on the inside, we broadcast and we affect the world around us. We affect human life, animal life, plant life, and even water. So emotional energy is a 2-way street. So not only do we broadcast, we can receive from other sovereign spirits who are broadcasting their emotional energy. So many are unconscious and reactive with their emotional energy. They feel like victims to their emotional energy. They feel like victims to their feelings. And what they feel or what they generate with their emotional energy is based upon what happens to them in their life experience. So when it comes to emotional energy, what we feel is not by chance from the outside world, it's more by choice. Now, are we affected by the emotional energy of the outside world? Absolutely, yes. However, when we are proactive and conscious with our emotional energy is more by choice and less by chance. Example, gratitude, purpose, joy. Those are all general forms of emotional energy. So if we generate those by choice and not by chance, when we go about creating our realities in this interconnected earth realm of energy, frequency, and vibration, we don't feel like our emotional energy is just happening to us and we're victims. No, we create it and we generate it on the inside. Does this mean we no longer feel sadness? No, we can feel sadness. Sometimes when our loved ones, other sovereign spirits, when they transition to the afterlife or the spirit realm, we can miss them. We can miss their presence in our lives and we can generate sadness. Now, do I ever feel anger anymore? No. Why? Because anger is a toxic form of emotional energy. And whenever anyone says, oh, that person made me angry, or this event made me angry, what they're saying unconsciously, they're not aware of it, is I gave permission to this individual or this event to take away my personal peace, my gratitude, my happiness, my joy. So when we awaken as sovereign spirits, anger is just obsolete. Now, can we feel frustration here and there when things don't go exactly our way? Yeah, we can to varying degrees. However, I don't feel anger anymore. Now, emotional energy is a very deep well. That's why it's explored in great detail in the proactive wellness system outlined in the book, Get Your Black Belt in Proactive Wellness First Degree. So instead of being unconscious and reactive with our emotional energy, as sovereign spirits, we are conscious and proactive with our emotional energy, a very deep well. Next, we have portal 17. As sovereign spirits, we work consciously and proactively with the bioenergy, sometimes known as life force energy, that powers our physical being. So at the deepest level, our physical being runs on overall general bioenergy. Now, bioenergy does have many branches and many expressions. And one of them is qi, or bioelectricity, that's acknowledged in traditional Chinese medicine in the meridian system of the physical being. So the meridian system is a pathway or a series of highways throughout our physical being, in which qi, which is called in Chinese, or bioelectricity, that we use the closest possible term we can use in English. So bioenergy is something we can be conscious and proactive with. Now, I am very conscious and proactive with my bioenergy. I do daily work with my bioenergy to stay ahead of the curve. Again, one of the reasons my calendar age may be 45, but I feel anywhere between the calendar ages of 25 and 30, because I have not taken better care of my physical being than I have what I'm currently doing in my life right now. And remember, the medical establishment, the old system, doesn't even acknowledge bioenergy or life force energy, or if they do, they can barely explain it. Now, acupuncture has been made more available in a lot of employee benefit systems. Now, if you were to ask an insurance company, oh, what does acupuncture do? They will tell you the outcomes of it. But if you ask them, oh, what exactly is it doing within the body or the physical being? They generally don't really answer that question in great detail. So generally speaking, the medical establishment and the old system does not acknowledge bioenergy or life force energy, and that we could be conscious and proactive with it to stay ahead of the curve. To what happens when you do this? Well, slow down cellular aging, increase cellular energy, strengthen immunity, accelerate cellular repair and regeneration. And there are other benefits as well, but those are the main ones, which ultimately help us. When we optimize those, we optimize our ability to fulfill our divine life purpose. So that is Portal 17 as sovereign spirits. We work consciously and proactively with the bioenergy or life force energy that powers our physical being. Next, we have Portal 18 as sovereign spirits. We work consciously and proactively with relational energy to create more harmony and cooperation with other sovereign spirits. So relational energy is the energy exchanged between two or more sovereign spirits. So what is relational energy? Relational energy has three elements to it. The first one is emotional energy, which we just discussed. Next, it is words, the power of the spoken word, words of energy, frequency, and vibration, and actions, which is expressions of energy, frequency, and vibration. So when it comes to sovereign spirits, we are conscious and proactive with our relational energy, which is a combination of emotional energy, words, and actions to create harmony and cooperation with other sovereign spirits. So when we create these higher levels of harmony and cooperation with our other sovereign spirits, we are moving into the highest, most loving expressions of co-creating reality. So let's do a quick recap of these three portals. So Portal 16, as sovereign spirits, we work consciously and proactively with our emotional energy. Portal 17, as sovereign spirits, we work consciously and proactively with the bioenergy. Now, by the way, I neglected to mention that there's a dash between bio and energy, so it's not two separate words, it is a new term. Remember, in CARALOT, QuantumUnity of CARALOT, and Spiritual Sovereignty, creating as many new terms and words as possible is all part of creating the new paradigm. We don't want to use the words from the previous paradigm because that brings in the previous paradigm. So we reduce those as much as possible. So the bioenergy / life force energy that powers our physical beings. And lastly, Portal 18, as sovereign spirits, we work consciously and proactively with relational energy to create harmony and cooperation with other sovereign spirits. So thanks for tuning in to this video. In the next video, we're going to be exploring portals 19, 20, and 21. Again, thanks for tuning into this video. My name is James T. Griffin. Create yourself a beautiful day, and I'll see you at the next video.